Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Access. In this module, I want to continue building the HR database. This is part 4 of that database, and I want to create a table that's going to record staff absenteeism. So I haven't got that table at the moment, so just recap. I've got a table of staff, that's the staff, and I've done one for courses. There's just 2 courses at the moment. Close those 2 off. And then I've got 2 lookup tables, one for cities and one for courses, which I can add to. I'll close those. But what I want to do now is create a third table or a second table that's going to be linked to the staff details, and that's going to be absenteeism. So I'll create a table in design, table design, and it will be, the first one is going to be absent ID. That's just going to be an auto number, and then we're going to have, we'll have the staff ID. That's going to be just a number field, and then the absent ID will be the primary key for that one, so that's a little key symbol, so that's an auto number. And then you've got a reason. We'll have a reason, or not reason, let's type, and then I want to create a, that's going to be short text. I want to do a little lookup list of different options in there, and I haven't got a table, so I'm just going to type it, but it's going to be a combo box. It's not a table, so I'll put that to value list, and then I need to type it. So if I put late as an option, semicolon, sick as an option, semicolon, and just absent, no reason. Those can be the 3 options, like that. And then I could also have this as a holiday table as well, but let's just keep this fairly straightforward at the moment. Staff ID is going to be the related field, absent ID, late, date. Date of event. That'll be a date time field, and then I'll have to save this table because I want to do an input mask, so let's save. This is going to be TBL absent. Okay, and then on that I can do an input mask. Back to general, input mask. I want this to be short date. That's what I want it to be. Just go finish on that one. Date of event. So let's just work this out. So there could be late, date of event. We could have a duration field, which will just be a number. Duration will just be a number field. So we can do that as a decimal number. So 1 day, 1 hour. Have to work that out later on when we get some test data, whether we need to come and tweak this. But it's more to do with the processes that I'm creating this for. So duration absent. Let's just have a look at that. Let's see what that looks like. If I go view. So again, staff ID hasn't got a lookup. We need to do a lookup for that, same as we did for the other one. So if I go back in there, staff ID, I need to do a lookup. It needs to be looking at combo, and it's going to be looking at staff, the staff table, staff details, and I want four columns, and I do want to limit this to list so you don't add anybody else. Let's put yes there. See what that looks like. Save that. Have a look. Staff ID, 4 columns. I need to do the measurements. So that's 2 centimeters by column width 2 centimeters. Where it says auto, let's put that to 8. See if that looks alright. Save. Have a look. Yep. Probably could put that to 10. Let's put that to 10. I was going to put that to 10, but there you go. 10. Save. Look. Have a look. Okay, still truncated a little bit, but that's alright. I can see who it is, staff ID, whatever. Now if I just put myself there, late, and let's say the sick, date of event, was today. Duration, let's just go 1 day, and then let's do somebody else. Dave Jones, let's say he was absent today as well, and that was just 1 day. Now here we go. So this is where you're probably going to have a date of event, or start date of event, end date of event, and maybe duration could be a calculation field. Let's try that one. So start date, we'll change that, start date of event, and then let's move this down a minute, end date, date time. I just have to save that while I do an input mask on that one. Back to general, input mask, do a date time, short date, finish, save. Right, so duration could be a calculated field instead of number, so let's just put calculated. It's gonna, it's saying I can't, okay, because I've already put some figures in there. Let's just put that off. Yes, so we'll call that again, duration, and then it's going to be end date minus start date. See what happens there. Let's have a look. Save. So let's put that back to the 16th, say, and that's 16th, and then end date was today's date. Press tab. Yeah, so that's working fine, and then I can do that for that one, today's date. Press tab, so that's working. Duration 2 days duration. Now if you're going to do, I've got late in here as well, so you probably want to do a date time. If you wanted to do late in this table, I don't really want to do, I shouldn't really put late in this table, but I'll just leave it for now, because then the calculation would have to be in time and not dates. You'd have to have not date, start of event, end of event, and put a date, a time in there, maybe 2 extra columns, but that'll do for now. Close that down. Now I need to go to database tools and relationships to make the relationship with that table. So TBL absent, bring that in. Let's move these over. Let's go for staff ID. One member of staff can be absent many times, one to many. Tick that option, enforce referential integrity, so you can't create a member of staff in there that doesn't exist in this table. But I've got it limited to list anyhow, so that would probably sort that out. But if I click create, I get the one to many. I'll save that link. That's sorted. Now what I can do is, I've got a query there about courses. There's the 2 courses, so I could create a query looking at the absentee status. So query design, I'll bring in staff details, and I'm bringing in the table absent. There's the link, so I can go first name, surname. So now we've got type, and let's go for start, end, duration. Let's see what that looks like. See if that's giving us any information. Yeah, so that gives basically the same information. So I'll save this, save, call it QRY absent. Okay, so that'll grow and shrink. So if I just go into the absent table for a minute and get myself somebody else going absent, Carol, she was sick, and let's say she was sick on the 21st of August 2023, and she was off until today. That's a long time, 8 to 9 days. Serious. Tab off that one, close that down, have a look at the query absent. So it's showing you that there, and then you've got the information coming through, who was sick and when. Now you can also, let's have a look at what happens when you create a form. We could create a form based on staff details. That's the main table. If I just go for the wizard straight off, the default one, let's see what that looks like. That's just brought that in. But obviously that's great if I'm just adding a new member of staff, but if I want to see the information for the absent and the courses, so I want to do a form that's going to have subforms underneath it. So if I close it off, nope, not saving it. What I could do is I could go and create a blank one, but let's see about the form wizard. Let's look for this one, form wizard. So I'll take all the fields across, and then I need to click on form courses, take all those fields across, and then form absent and take all those fields across, and then how do I want this to look? Column, let's go for tabular. Next. I'm going to leave it like that because I'm going to probably see what it looks like first. See, I'm not a great fan of wizards. What has this done? So that's opened up. That's just knocked everything across one big long list. So I'm not doing that. That's no good. So I will do it by myself. So I'll create a form in design. I need to get the property sheets on the screen, and I need to get it to look at the staff details table, which is that one. Now I can get rid of that. Then I need to add the fields where I want them to be on this little table, make that a bit bigger. Get the fields, bring all these across like that. Now I'm not going to play around with this too much at the minute, but let's have a look. That's what that's going to look like. I probably do need to make some of these slightly bigger. If I click away from that. So the benefit of doing it yourself is you don't get the auto layout one, where then you've got to go to arrange and take that off. You can just do it yourself by elongating these. I don't want to spend too long doing it. That'll do. Now on form design, you've got this controls area, and in the controls area, if I just expand that, let's get rid of this field list. If I just expand that so you can see everything in there, what you've got is tools that you can utilize, but what I'm after is the Subform Subreport, which is that one, because when you click on that you can draw a rectangle. It doesn't matter how big, because you probably have to do it again. So it's remembering that. I'm going to delete that in a minute, but let's pretend there's none there. Let's just go next. You can now select it's on the query absent, but I want courses first, I think. Query, in fact I don't want the query courses, I want the table courses, that one, and send them across, and then follow it through. It should pick up the link. It's picked up the link. Follow it through. You can change that if you want, or don't have any label. I'll leave that as it is so you can see how it sits, and then that puts that there, which I do know I'm going to need to elongate that before I have a look. So you can see that all the information is in there. So I didn't need to make it that big actually, because it's only courses. Staff ID. I probably don't need staff ID now. If I'd used the lookup wizard, it wouldn't have picked that up. So if I go through to the next person, they're doing a course and there's nobody else doing any courses, so that works okay. If we go back into design, and then do the yes. It's wanting me to save it. Form staff. I'm going to call this records, staff records. Okay, and then I want to draw another one. So go back to form design, picking on that one, and this one will be the absenteeism one. Just let it go through the same process, and I want the table absent. Knock them across. Next, next, finish, and then pull it over and have a look. View, staff ID. So staff ID, don't necessarily need that to be displayed. That can probably be a bit smaller, but let's have a look if this works. So I'll go to the next person, absent, and there's Carol Manton with her 8 to 9 days. You can get rid of all of these boxes and just have that displayed like so. Obviously these are a bit too big now, but I am going to just save it. Yeah, so I've saved it. Let's close it down. Now the benefit of that is, I'm going to get rid of this one because I didn't mean to save that one. Not that one. This one nearly got rid of the wrong one there. Where's delete? There. Yeah. So now what I can do is this. If I open staff records, I can go to a person. Let's go to Dave Jones. So Dave Jones has been absent. Let's say he was sick, and he was sick from the 14th of November 2023 to today. Control semicolon, tab it over, works that out for me. 4 days. He did a course. Let's say he did an Excel course, level 1, and he did that on the 21st 08 2023. Tab off, new record. So this is Anne Reed. She's not done anything. And let's go to Carol Manton. Let's say she's did a course in Excel, level 1. Date of the training was today. That's it. So you can now just fill in all this information from one form. Now if I close this form down and just have a quick look at courses and a quick look at this table absent that we've just done, you can see how that works. So absent first, those are the things I've been using, that I've been inputting in through that other form. I'll close that off, so there it is. And then courses, there's the extra courses that I've been doing for those people. Staff ID, Carol Manton just did that. So that's all I want to cover on this little session. The next session we'll build it up a little bit more, start interrogating the data, might add a few extra tables and tweak with those. But hopefully this is of use. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you on the next one.